Hello and welcome to the Digital Experience training video for using the web system to design your pages. Keep in mind, this video is recorded using a support role, so if your role is a different type, some of the menu options might be different from yours. Let's start. The first step we recommend you do as you start designing your page is to strategize it. Here are some questions you can ask and try to answer to help you guide you in your design decisions. First, what's the purpose of this page? Second, who's the main audience of this page? What does your audience need or want from this page versus what the business needs and wants? And finally, how much content do you have? You don't need to be very specific when answering these questions, but having a general, clear idea for each will allow you to design purposefully and explain to others the choices you made when putting the page together. Once you have strategized, you can start thinking about layouts. Part of the web system is the layout builder. With it, you'll be able to create symmetrical and asymmetrical layouts. When and how to use each depends on the visual style you want to create in your page. Symmetrical layouts create a very neat and tidy design. The balance created in this layout is very pleasing to the human eye. Asymmetrical layouts make use of the white space to create dynamic relations between elements. This layout can help you guide the audience to specific areas or point on your page. Our layout builder has two full widths you must keep in mind. There's the full width and content width. Full width extends to the page's full width, which reaches a maximum of 1500 pixels. Background images and colors expand to this width. Content width, as its name indicates, is the width in which the page's content sits in, which reaches a maximum of 1140 pixels. In the layout builder, we provide two 50-50 options. One of them is full width and it's intended for the banner block only, so please keep this in mind. Here are some tips on creating layouts. Try to avoid placing long pieces of content in an 100% column width. Generally, anything longer than 6 lines will be problematic. This length can tire the eye when reading, especially if there's a lot to be read. Instead, consider using the 2-column division in the text block or using some of the layouts to place several text blocks. Here are some recommended layouts to try out when designing your page with only text content. You can use the 50-50 layout, 66-33 or 33-66, and the 33-33-33. Good layouts to try for content that has both images and text are 50-50, 66-33 or 33-66, 25-75 or 75-25, 25-25-50 or 50-25-25. The blocks are meant to be flexible, and although they do have some restrictions, we encourage all our users to be as creative as they want with them. With this in mind, we have some tips on how to best use some of the blocks. The accordion block. Avoid using the accordion if your audience needs most of the content in your page. It is easier to scan a page that has all the content displayed than asking your users to click several times to find the content they want or need. If your concern is that the page is too long with all the content being displayed, then consider having a quick overview at the top, highlighting the different content you are presenting in this page. Or ask if perhaps a better solution is to create subpages for the different sections in this one long page. Accordions are better suited when your audience only needs a few key pieces of content on a single page. The titles of each accordion section should be clear and describe well the content in them, so as to make it easier for the user to find the key pieces they want or need. If the content you're placing in the accordion sections is rather short, consider using the text block instead, as the accordion, in this case, is not providing much of an enhancement, except adding extra clicks for your users to get to those small pieces of content. On a side note, when you're creating an accordion, it can be confusing what is and what isn't required to use this block. By default, when you create an accordion content, the sections area will be created automatically. This area is not required to use the accordion, but some of its fields are once it's activated. If you do not want to use the sections area, all you have to do is remove it by clicking the remove button on the top right corner. Banner and image hero block. We have a recommended character limit for the fields in these blocks. We recommend to try following them to avoid uneven padding. If your description content is very long, try using the sidekick block, which has a much longer character count for the description field, instead of a banner block. And instead of an image hero, you can try using the text hero for your main page title and underneath it a sidekick block for the description. Center aligning your text is generally the best visual option for these blocks. Although you can align it left, it generally looks best when you are placing your text on the left side. The campus map block. The map itself will not appear until your page has gone live. We recommend this is one of the first things you check when going live, to catch any issues with it early. The more information block. If you have more than 4 sections that you want to display using a more information block, consider using multiple blocks to have more control over the distribution of sections per row. This will help you create a better visual balance. For example, if you have 5 sections, try placing 3 on the top row and 2 underneath it by using 2 different blocks. If you have 6, you can place 3 at the top and 3 at the bottom. The text block. When using the text block, remember to use the H tags to create a clear and purposeful typographical hierarchy. The heading of the block is an H2, which is the largest size available in the content area. H1 is reserved for the page title only, which is accessible through the hero blocks. The H2 size should be the title of your section, and if there are subsections to it, then you can use the H3 tags or H4 if they're subsections. Both tags are available in the description field of the text block. Even if you're using multiple text blocks, take in consideration the typographical hierarchy. The heading of this block is not required, so if you're placing sub-content in a separate text block, avoid using the heading and instead use the H3 or H4 tags in the description area. The image block. When using the image block, you will find that graphics sometimes look pixelated. If this happens, try saving the graphic as a PNG instead of a JPEG. This applies to any other block that uses images. The Text Hero CTA block. This block allows you to have a hero section without having to use a background image. If the title you're using is rather long, consider not using its description field nor the button, so as to allow the title to spread to the full content width. Instead, we recommend you create a hero area by combining the text hero and placing a text block underneath it for the description and button, and then adding a red divider block. Using the brand colors on our system is very easy. We have ensured that our color palette is available with the right hex values for everyone. For better brand consistency and visual accessibility, we have made our color palettes available in 2 different ways, as background colors and as accent colors. The background colors are limited to a specific selection. This selection was made with brand consistency and visual accessibility in mind. Here are some tips for when you use background colors. Your Calgary red is our main institutional color and the most prominent on our web space. A good use for it is institutional level content. It is also very good for content you don't want to be missed. Red is a very bold and vibrant color. If you place a red banner on a page, it will most likely not be missed, especially if it's surrounded by white. Light orange is a good option for a background color if red cannot be used. It still possesses the boldness of our brand without the intensity of the red. Dark orange sits between the red and the light orange in terms of use. It is not as intense as the red, but more so than the light orange. The magenta is very close in value to the Calgary red, which means when placed together, they look almost identical. That's why we recommend avoid using these colors together. Using maroon and brown will maintain our brand consistency, but these colors lack vibrancy. We recommend using them lightly on your page so as not to create a dark look. The dark gray's main purpose is to be a neutral color to balance our vibrant palette. The accent colors encompass all of our available brand colors and can be used to color graphic elements on a page. When using accent colors, consider them as a good tool to add vibrancy in your page without having to use a lot of background colors, which, if used heavily, can be too overwhelming. You can also use accent colors to divide content or to make it easy to find it. Note that this is a great enhancement to your content, but you cannot rely entirely on it as a tool. Not all colors are equally accessible to all your users, so some of them will not be able to see this color distinction. Thank you for watching this video. You can find more information regarding our blogs and system in web.ucalgary.ca. And for any questions or concerns in regards to using layouts or blogs, you can reach out to us by either contacting web services or posting on our SharePoint site.